9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. That's 72 hours, and across AI startups in Silicon Valley right now, that amount of time dedicated to a work week isn't a warning sign, it's a job requirement. It's called 996, and it originated in China's tech sector before China's own Supreme People's Court ruled it illegal in 2021. 5 years later, it's reappeared in Silicon Valley, rebranded as Ambition. Theo Leggett reported on this shift back in February, and one line from his reporting really struck a chord. A growth executive at the AI company Rilla proudly shared that his 120 employees don't experience 72-hour weeks as grueling. They see themselves as Olympian athletes driven by infinite ambition. The median age at that company, 25. But that comparison collapses under the weight of its own logic. You see, athletes train toward a fixed event, a final match, a finish line, defined moment when the competition ends. Business, on the other hand, doesn't have one. Author Simon Sinek describes this as a difference between finite and infinite games. Finite games have fixed players and a clear endpoint. Infinite games don't. There's no final buzzer, no moment when someone wins. You either keep playing or you run out of will, of resources, of health. And guess what? AI development is an infinite game in and of itself. There's no final release that ends the competition. This matters because a lot of the people working these hours believe they're the ones who will solve it, that they'll be the founder or engineer whose breakthrough locks in permanent relevance. But the field doesn't stop to declare a winner. Someone else will build the next model, and the next team will ship the next feature set. So, why does this logic still spread, even among people smart enough to see the flaw in it? Psychologist Albert Bandura spent decades studying exactly this pattern. We don't just learn from our own outcomes, we learn by watching what gets rewarded in people around us. Where exhaustion is praised as commitment, that praise becomes the evidence people use to justify the hours. The same BBC reporting cites World Health Organization research showing that working 55 hours a week or more increases the risk of dying from heart disease by 17% and raises stroke risk by 35%. Beyond 60 hours, output doesn't plateau, it declines. In fact, someone working 70 hours a week produces barely more than someone working 50. Separately, labor experts warn that 996 style schedules disproportionately exclude workers with caregiving responsibilities, narrowing who can even remain in these roles long term. That exclusion is where it gets personal for me. I've spent time documenting companies operating this way. And what I've observed is a narrowing of life itself. Coworkers become someone's only social circle because there's no time left for anyone else. Family gets pushed to the margins when there's room for it at all. Eventually, this ends for the company, for the culture, or for the individual. How does someone go on to build a family or repair the one they already have after years spent training for a competition that never had a finish line? That's the cost of 996 that doesn't make it into headlines about ambition or productivity. If business really has no finish line, then burning out at 25 isn't dedication. It's a bet on a kind of relevance the market is never going to let you keep. So the real question isn't whether someone can survive 996. It's why we decided that surviving it should be the cost of getting in the door.